What's going on, Warriors? Happy New Year. First day of 2016. Let's get into this thing. I ain't wasting any time, y'all. I'm getting straight into it. I'm talking about top 5 video games of 2015. As you know, now, I've got PlayStation 4, PlayStation Nation, I've got Xbox One, Xbox, and I've got a Wii U. I got that for Bayonetta 2. I got that game for Scalebound, but it's not my main console. And I got PS4. You know, for Persona 5, Street Fighter, all those type of games, King of Fighters, you know what it is. I don't side with the side of console wars. I'm not into that. I pledge allegiance to myself and the video games, not the consoles, the video games. That's why I had to get all the consoles in order to play the games that I want to play. I'm pissed off about it. I have to spend so much money on all these consoles when I could just have one that has everything. But that's not the way it is. It's all about exclusives. That's who's going to win this console war, whether it's the best exclusives. Although it's pretty much signed, sealed and delivered for the PlayStation 4, if I'm being absolutely honest. Without further ado, as I said, missed you guys. Happy New Year. Let's get into this thing. 2016. Let's go. My top 5 video games of 2015. Number 5, Transformers Devastation. Godlike game. Meaty system. A game that is basically like the 80s. It feels like you are in the 1980s, but the magical part of the 1980s when you're playing Transformers Devastation. It's like Transformers, but it's got such a godlike system. The system, if you played Metal Gear Rising, Revengeance, Bayonetta 1, Devil May Cry 3, this game is up there with those games. The system is absolutely perfect. What a system! That game came out from left field. Activision, shitty company like EA. Everything they touch turns to dust and they poison everything that is beautiful. But every once in a while, they spend a couple million on something that is absolutely magic. And they've done this, Activision, with Transformers Devastation, an incredible 1980 nostalgia game with an incredible in-depth system. That game, you could play that game for years and still find out something new, just like you could with Devil May Cry or Bayonetta. Absolutely incredible game. I recommend you go and get that game. Number 4, Fallout 4. Godlike game. Could go from first person to third person. You have real time. You can fight in real time. Go about the world real time. Or you can get into combat using the VAT system, which is like an RPG system where you can zoom in on the weak parts of the monsters or anyone that you're fighting against. Love that game. Without a doubt, the shittest looking game on the Xbox One and PS4. Shittest looking game with the most glitches. But the game's story, the game's world is absolutely incredible. Like, I don't believe it. I'm saying it. But that game is ridiculously fantastic. It really is. The story, the world, the characters, the way you help people, the way you can help like people build up sanctuaries, the way you can help people with stories and quests, the way you could go into like abandoned houses or hotels or whatever, and you're always going to find out something new. You're always going to find out a new backstory of people that lived in that house, and it builds a picture of like, oh shit, this was what it's like before the nuclear proliferation. That game is, it should be the style of the game, the premise of it, the game should be a 10, right? But the game is actually a 6. But what is 6 in that game is so incredible. It succeeds in 6 out of 10 and fails in 4 out of 10. But what it succeeds in is so astronomically fantastic and enjoyable that you forget about the 4. You forget how shit it is, how shit it looks. You forget how the organisation is absolute garbage. You forget about those kind of things and you just enjoy the story, you enjoy the characters, you enjoy fighting against the mutants, you enjoy fighting against like scavengers. It's a wicked game. It's a wicked game, good story, The quest, searching for your family, it's a really good game. I enjoyed it, and that's why it's my number 4. Number 3, Rise of Tomb Raider. Graphically, fantastic. In terms of story and pacing, it's rubbish. It's not that good. But you've got a lot of different weapons, which all pretty much do the same thing, other than the bow and arrow. I'm sorry, but it's true. Yeah, and the shotgun. The only difference you have is the shotgun, the handgun, and the bow and arrow. Everything else is like basically the same weapon. But you have lots of different costumes. You've blatantly gone open world. There's no lack of enemies to kill, which is a weakness in the first game. Once you got your weapon up to maximum, there was no one to kill. You've got a lot of different types of combat you can do. You can do like maps where you kill soldiers, or you get past soldiers without killing anybody, or there's certain things where you have to fight monsters, or fight bears, or fight lots of high level enemies. It's a good game. It's a very, very good game, but it feels like it was stretched and pulled a little bit too much. You get past a certain part of the game, and you feel, oh wow, I must be in the middle of the game. And then you look, you're only 11% into the game. But you said I just done a lot, quite a lot, for quite a long time. Because they want to stretch the game. That's it. Open world, make the game feel as long as possible. No, actually make it as long as possible. How long's a piece of string? As long as we want it to be. And that's what they did with Tomb Raider, Rise of Tomb Raider. That's how I feel. But it's like they preserved quantity over quality. And the game has got a lot of quality, but it's got more quantity than quality. But the quality that is in the game is good. I'd recommend you buy it. Very enjoyable game. Yeah, I can't really fault the game, to be honest with you, other than it dragged on a little bit and it could have been shorter. I know it sounds strange saying it could have been shorter, but I'd rather have the game be a good story and shorter than stretched out where I feel like I'm getting bored because I'm like, why am I here again? Why am I doing this? The tombs are good. There's a lot of tombs. There could be more tombs, but there are more tombs in this one, and there's more rewards. You get rewards as in skills, opposed to some piece of glass or a book that you're not going to do anything with. You get like ancient skills and stuff like that, so it's pretty good for that. Number 2, Metal Gear V Phantom Pain. Godlike game. Not afraid of his own shadow. They tackle mad subjects as the way people are killed. You see blood. You see torture. You see child soldiers. You see the way militia and guerrillas and rebel forces take advantage of destabilized countries and areas and towns. And basically your mission is to basically fuck up all those guerrillas and militia and rebels and basically superpowers that try to take advantage of destabilized countries. It's good. I like the game. The story's good. I don't like the quests. I think the quests are a little too simplified, but it's enjoyable. You know, the stealth. I was going to say stealth killing, but you can't kill. The game basically punishes you for killing people. Take grass back to Mother Base. Take soldiers back to Mother Base. Take a dog back to Mother Base. Take a hen back to Mother Base. Take a horse. Take a car. Take a building. You have to take all these things back to Mother Base so your Mother Base can become godlike, so that you can use it to get better armor, better equipment, better weapons, a better eye patch, a better handgun, a better arm, a better mech. And that's another thing I'll say about this game. It's a bit odd because it's set in the 80s, but the technology in this game is higher level than it was in the previous games. Strange, but whatever. Still a good game. Recommend you go get it. That's Metal Gear V, Phantom Pain, my number 2. Number 1, without a shadow of a doubt, Witcher, Wild Hunt 3. God-like game. I've never seen a developer that cares so much and shows that they care so much about their gamers, about their customers. They treat us like we're part of their development team, even though we're not. They care. They give us good quality for money. That game is absolutely incredible. Yennefer, Triss, Cirilla, Dandelion, Geralt, Radovid, Emperor Emir, Sheila de Tanzaville, Everybody, like, the character is such a rich, meaty game. I love that game. I love the game. The quests, you feel like Northern Realms. There's Northern Realms. You have Skellig, which is, there's like 2 world maps in that game. 2 fucking godlike, massive world maps. Skellig and the Northern Realms. Absolutely incredible. And then you have DLC, which is not actually DLC, it's expansions. I have got 500 hours on Witcher, and I'm still finding out new quests. Stop already. Stop. That game is the best game I've played in 2015. The best game I've played in at least 10 years. Easy. The only reason I'll say games like Final Fantasy 7, the Final Fantasy 8, Final Fantasy 9 are better than this game is because I played those games when I was in school. You know what I mean? So it's got like a special place in my heart. And no matter how better a game is, I cannot place them over games like Final Fantasy, over Xenogears, over Final Fantasy 7, over Final Fantasy 8, over Xenogears, games like that. I can't do it. My mind won't allow me. But in the past 10 years, at least, Witcher is the best game. Quests, story, characters, immersiveness, acting, graphics, absolutely incredible. CD Projekt Red fucking care about the gamers. They want to give us a good quality product because they know if they treat us right, we will come back and keep on buying their games, keep on buying their DLC, expansions. That game is incredible. So many armor, so many different swords, so many different skills, so many different potions and technologies and weapons and traps you can use. Witcher 3, best game without a doubt of 2015 by a mile, by a country mile, by light million years. Warriors, that was my top 15, my top 5. Hope you enjoyed it. I want to hear what your top 5 video games are. Comments are down there. Let's get into this thing. Thanks for tuning in and stay tuned for our next video.